India on Tuesday condemned the reports of civilian killings in Bucha and called for an independent investigation into the matter. India's permanent representative to the UN, T.S. Tirumurthy, observed that the situation in Ukraine had not shown any significant improvement since the Council last discussed the issue. India also noted the reports of civilians being killed in the town of Bucha, saying that such news was deeply disturbing.
Madam President, the situation in Ukraine has not shown any significant improvement since the Council last discussed the issue. The security situation has only deteriorated, as well as its humanitarian consequences. Recent reports of civilian killings in Bucha are deeply disturbing. We unequivocally condemn these killings and support the call for an independent investigation.
India also noted that the impact of the crisis was being felt beyond the region, as costs of energy and food increased in many developing countries still recovering from the pandemic. While New Delhi has maintained its neutral stance on the conflict, India sent 90 tons of humanitarian supplies to Ukraine, which includes medicines and essential relief materials. India has been calling for direct talks between Russia and Ukraine, saying that diplomacy is the only viable option when lives are at stake. Once again, at WION have been telling you that India has maintained a neutral stance when it comes to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. On Tuesday, India's External Affairs Minister also took a stand and said that they're choosing the path of peace. This after India at the UNSC condemned the killings in the town of Bucha.
Thank you.
India condemned the reports of civilian killings in Bucha and then called for an independent investigation. This was after it was observed that the situation in Ukraine had not shown any significant improvement since the Council last discussed the issue.
Madame la Présidente, je salue la participation du président Zelensky, général adjoint aux affaires humanitaires, de leurs interventions.
Meanwhile, India has noted the reports of civilians being killed in the town of Bucha, saying that the news is deeply disturbing. It has also been noted that the impact of the crisis now is being felt across the region, across the world in fact, as costs of food and energy have now increased in several developing economies who are still recovering from the onslaught of the COVID pandemic.
Madame la Présidente, je salue la participation du président Zelensky, général adjoint.
The reports of civilians being killed in Bucha is now reverberating around the world. India's External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar today condemned the killing in the lower house of the Indian Parliament and said that India will always choose the side of peace. Listen in.
Honourable members would all agree that India's approach should be guided by our national beliefs and values, by our national interest, and by a national strategy. We are, first and foremost, strongly against the conflict. We believe that no solution can be arrived at by shedding blood and at the cost of innocent lives. If India has chosen a side, it is the side of peace, and it is for an immediate end to violence. The happenings in Bucha, and I want to say that we are deeply disturbed by the reports.
WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.